And welcome everyone to the Codo Bach Pitstop. Happy Monday morning. Happy Columbus Day out there. A lot of people off of school today. And we are in for another episode of this season. I am Matt Lauterbach. And of course, joined across from me, decked out in full winter's gear.
You got that right, Matt. What's going on, everyone? This is Patrick Codo, the co-host of Codo Bach Pitstop. Yes, decking out my Bears jersey for winning yesterday in London, and a top 5 finish for Chase Elliott yesterday. Moving on to the round of 8. Let's go.
Yep, Chase Elliott moving on to the round of 8. Happiness and joy has struck some teams, but pain and misery has struck others, as we'll get into.
Oh, not just the teams, but to us fans in general.
Yes, to us fans in general. We have some feelings that need to be bled out here. A lot of thoughts from this weekend, both in Xfinity and Cup. It was chaotic racing at the Roval. What else are you going to get from this race, Pat? It's always chaos.
Yep.
And we had a lot of it this weekend. But before we start, let's get to our paint scheme of the week. I will let you go first. Whose paint scheme are you rocking with that somehow may or may not have survived the carnage?
Okay, first and foremost, buddy, you cannot go wrong about Shane Van Gisbergen's WeatherTech car. I mean, from the whole fucking weekend, the Xfinity car, the Cup car, all that's just a beautiful scheme.
That is
And it's nice too that we have a WeatherTech literally around us in Bolingbrook.
Yeah. You did actually get to meet SVG back in June at the
I did.
WeatherTech signing there. I unfortunately could not go. I would have loved to be there, but oh well. I'll get him next time. Um, my paint scheme of the week, unpopular opinion. You know what? I went with him the past couple weeks, but he rocks some really good paint schemes. I like Daniel Suarez's number 99 Choice Hotels paint scheme.
I mean, like I said, Mad Trackhouse and 2311 have hit it on the head in their paint schemes, and I like that pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Suarez didn't make it, but he rocked a pretty badass paint scheme this weekend. So I like that number. I like the number 99's paint schemes, him and the ones, and with that sponsorship they bring over, they always have some good schemes.
Hate to bring it to you, Matt, but speaking of Suarez, if he doesn't get it together next season, he might be out of a ride.
He may be out of a ride, but it was a bit of a nice bounce back year for him. He made the playoffs, made it to the round of 12, whereas Ross Chastain did not. So, yep. Yep. So that ended up happening. But let's get in to this weekend at the Roval. Pat, we had a bit of a reconfiguration at the Roval, somewhat different, somewhat a little bit daredevilish. We had a newly redesigned curbing on the front stretch chicane heading into the last turns towards the start finish line. We had the turtles there, that special little thing on the curbing that kind of it doesn't always sit well with drivers, and this weekend it really didn't do well with that. And then we had the turn 7 area exiting the front stretch into the turn 1 and 2 area on the oval part. That caused a lot of heart attack moments for a lot of people.
Oh, especially for the cup race and stuff. Good Lord Jesus. Because
Yeah.
everybody was, being cautious because you have to make a super sharp turn, and you don't want to be going in there too fast. And well, if you got someone next to you, well,
Yeah.
gotta pray to God that they're slowing down too.
Yeah.
Because there was times where we just had a fuck ton of cars just make that super sharp turn. We saw like 3 cars turn at once. We could have saw 4 cars turn at once, and like you said, it costed some drivers, some spots, and it also costed a specific someone a playoff spot, apparently.
Yes, apparently. But with that hairpin turn, that was just that was like a heart attack waiting to happen. That was an accident waiting to happen right there. Anytime you had someone aggressive going deep into that hairpin turn, you just had to sit there and pray that he would just slow up. I mean, there are so many cars overdriving that turn in yesterday and Saturday's race that if you're on the outs, you did not want to be on the outside of somebody who overdrove that corner because they were just gonna overdrive and push you right up the track.
Yeah.
But the Roval underwent a
And
new
sometimes you
design.
just had no choice.
No, sometimes you just have no choice, but it's what NASCAR wants. It's what they want. They want these game seven, these nail biting moments. And yeah, yesterday was a bit of a
Yeah,
game,
this game seven shit for the playoffs is low key pissing us off, NASCAR.
and we saw some of it this weekend as well, mainly
Yeah.
in Xfinity, which we'll touch on in just a little bit. But yeah, that was oh my goodness. I honestly, I'm ready. I'm done with the Roval experiment. I'm just gonna get right to it. I'm done with the Roval
I'm
experiment.
done with the Roval experiment too. It was great for the first 2 years, mainly
Yeah,
because you could thank Jimmy Johnson for, and Martin Truex for fucking up at the end.
yeah,
Obviously, we saw Chase Elliott with his bounce back in 2019, but
yeah,
from then on, it's just been meh. I mean, we had the Elliott Harvick feud come to an end there in 21. We saw the crazy finish in 22 where Christopher Bell punched his way to the round of eight.
yeah. But honestly, especially with how these cars, with how we've seen these cars race in the 600 on the oval configuration, it'd be
And it
honestly,
was a perfect day too. Then it was a great day too. That there was no way
yeah,
hell NASCAR was gonna fuck that up like they did back in May.
yeah. It was nice. It was a sunny, perfect day out in Charlotte. It would have been great for oval racing yesterday, but as always, NASCAR has to have a say in it. I'm just hoping in the next couple of years. They're already set to return to the Roval next year, but I'd like it if that were to
Great.
be. I'd like it if that were to be the last Roval race next year, and they would just go back to the oval configuration in 2026. Because this is
Well, I
really,
mean, if they ever bring back Chicagoland Speedway, you hope to God they bring back the Charlotte Oval for the
yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that I would love to see this new car on the Chicagoland Speedway. That'd be
I mean,
great
the
for some.
contract is up for the street course after next season, so
Yeah. You'd love.
I if we can get Joliet back in 26. Well,
Yeah.
we marked on our calendars ASAP.
Oh yeah, yeah. We would just put everything off to the side and be in clear attendance. Hell, we may go infield on that because we're right here. But
Shit, let's go fucking crazy for that race.
shit, let's do it. But yeah, it honestly, a lot of people have said it too that a lot of people feel like the experiments on some of these road courses, mainly the road courses inside of tracks like Charlotte, need to stop. We already saw that with Indy. People got tired of the Indy road course race. They went back to the Brickyard 400, and it was decent racing up until the end. And
Daytona obviously had its reasons at the time.
yeah, Daytona obviously it had its reasons, but I'm happy we're not racing at the
Yes.
Daytona road course there. That just did not work out well, in my opinion. And I'd
No.
hope that people would hope the execs in NASCAR would realize that with the Roval. But we
And
all
then
we
of
can,
course, and then of course, fix this short track package.
yeah, yeah, fix the short track package. Be done with some of the road course races. Obviously, the street course race, I don't mind if that stays. That's produced some good racing, but the Charlotte Roval, I'm done with it. Let's just get
Yeah, I
back.
am too.
Let's just get back to some oval racing. And with how this car is handled at tracks like Charlotte and Texas,
Yes.
and and Kansas, in Michigan too, it's gonna be. I think it'd be a good race. So let's bring it back to the
Absolutely.
oval in 2026.
Please.
But let's move on to the Xfinity race on Saturday. It was the end of the round of 12 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And oh, buddy, we had some shaking up happening in this race. The start of the race was pretty quiet. We had some guys being and banging off each other. Jesse Love was very aggressive
Sam
in that
Mayer
two
did a
car.
no right away.
Sam Mayer did a no right away, had to get sent to the back. He started outside front row, but had a penalty and had to go all the way to the back, but he wouldn't let that stop him.
Nope.
Just Jesse Love was being very aggressive early on. He drove the guy who used to drive the two car, Sheldon Creed, around into the hairpin turn, lost a ton of positions. And Sheldon Creed's day, that was just the beginning of
Of
the
the
end.
end.
Yeah, that was just the beginning of the end right there. So in stage two, we had a caution come out for debris. I believe it was a debris caution that came out. Sheldon Creed was running top 10 and he had to go to the back because he went to pit lane. He had issues with the transmission, so there was already some mechanical issues brewing for that 18 car. Has to
Yeah.
go to the back. We get the restart. And on the restart in the front stretch, we have a multi-car accident. Riley Herbst and Anthony Alfredo leaning on each other in the chicane. Herbst kind of cut down in front of Alfredo, acted like he wasn't there, did not give the
Mm,
5 car a lot of room. It ended up spinning Riley Herbst around. He smacked the outside wall and created a bunch of carnage behind him. Josh Williams was involved. Alfredo got damaged. And coming into the scene was Sheldon Creed. And he would have been fine. He would have been fine. He stopped on the brakes as he got to the accident scene. And if he had stopped and stood right there, he would have been fine. And he did that. But then another car came plowing into the back of him and it pushed Creed into the pileup. And the front end of that 18 car was toast.
do you know who hit Sheldon Creed?
I think it was the 42 car of Leland Honeymoon, 42 or 43 car.
Yes.
Yeah. And Leland Honeymoon, he had a very eventful day later on, as we'll get to in just a second. Yeah. So Sheldon Creed, his car was fucked. Riley Herbst, he was already having a bad race anyways. He was complaining on the radio that his car was not good. He was actually questioning his crew chief's strategy on the radio. Is like, I hope you have something planned for us, man, because I don't know what else I can do. He was struggling at the time, and I think
Yeah.
he basically just put himself out of his misery just driving across the front of Anthony Alfredo's car.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was not a good day for some Xfinity drivers on Saturday. And
Yeah.
mentioned Sheldon Creed and Riley Herbst, but that's just the beginning of what the fuck was to come.
Yeah, that was just the beginning right there. Those two, they with how junk their cars were, they actually managed to get their cars mostly fixed before the DVP policy expired or time expired. NASCAR, that obviously that's been a big controversy as of late. So stage two, the rest of that race commenced. We had Justin Allgaier needing to advance. He needed to have a solid day to advance, and he had it right there. I mean, Creed and Herbst, they were above the cut line, so Allgaier took complete advantage of that, sailed to the lead in
Right.
stage two, ended up winning it. And at the end of stage two, things only got worse for Creed and Herbst. Herbst had some mechanical issue. I don't know if it was brakes or if he had a tire cut, but he smacked the wall pretty hard, ended up tearing up the drive shaft on that car even worse. And he was retired from the race with a drive shaft issue. And then Sheldon Creed, his race ended basically on the same lap. His car was slow. The engine was failing on that 18 car, and he parked it on the backstretch and was unable to finish the race. So Riley Herbst, he only came in like 5 to the good above the cut line, so he was already eliminated. And Sheldon Creed came in 32 above and just had to sit and hope that the cars behind him entering the cut line on the race would be eliminated. And as we would see, that did not happen. It ended up getting
No.
worse. It ended up
Oh,
getting worse.
way worse.
Yeah, way, way worse. So, yeah, Creed was done for the day. Riley Herbst was done for the day. Riley Herbst just loves this track. I remember back in 2022, he completely melted down at the end of this race and ended up missing out on the round of 8 in the playoffs. He got involved in so many accidents and it did not.
Well, he should be grateful that he wasn't. Well, we obviously remember the worst one, the 2020 monsoon. Good
Oh,
lord,
God. Good Lord. Yeah, I still
that was
remember.
the fucking drinking game. All right,
Hmm.
I should take a shot precaution.
uh,
Seriously.
that was the beginning of the end for the Roval, in my opinion. That was just the beginning of
Yeah,
the
that
end.
was a warning sign of us. Okay, get the
Yeah.
shit out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just a warning sign of, yeah, let's not do this. So stage three commenced. We had Allgaier, AJ Allmendinger, who also has been great at this track, SVG, and we had Sam Mayer tearing up from the back of the field up towards the front. Sam Mayer was my pick to win this race, and they were all racing together, and it looked like it was going to be setting up for an interesting finish. And then we had a caution come out. A tire came off a car. Debris was on the track. Caution came out, re-rack him up again. SVG played a bold strategy. He was the only driver not in the top 10 to come down pit road and get four fresh tires. And that just made it very interesting. He took the lead on the restart, It looked good at first. And then Parker Kligerman, in his final full-time season, keep in mind, he's never won before in Xfinity, just shot out of a cannon on four fresher tires, overtook SVG for the lead, and he was sailing off, but he had Sam Mayer hunting him down. Sam Mayer had he had fresher tires. His car was handling really good. He was hunting him down, but he couldn't pass him. I don't know if you saw this in the race going into turn two on the oval part of the track. Sam Mayer, his car just shifted out of gear from what it looked like. He was having some clutch issues or some shifting issues of some sorts because he would be gaining up on Kligerman, but his car would just be like, it'd just be fading back on him. And he
Well, that's
lost.
the other thing too with road courses as well. When you're on like the track part and stuff, you're hauling at, you're catching up those drivers, and then there's those chicanes where you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it was. It happened so many times, like twice in the race. He was catching up to Kligerman and he was about to overtake him. And then all of a sudden, the car just like died on the oval part of the track. It was some sort of shifting issue that he had. And because of that, it looked like Parker Kligerman was finally going to get that very elusive first win of his career and pull off the upset,
What
advance to the round
a
of eight.
perfect way for it to happen. Oh, and then wait.
Yeah, we get NASCAR with its caution bullshit once again. Leyland Honeymoon, his day went from bad to worse. He had a left front tire go down and he just plowed into the tire barriers. He plowed underneath the tire barriers. I don't know if you saw that, Pat, but his car was just sitting underneath the barriers there, and it was not good.
Dude, it was fucked, man.
Yeah, his car was fucked, and I thought immediately, okay, his car's underneath the tire barrier. They need to throw the caution out here. And they waited right till Parker Kligerman was about to take the white flag to throw the caution. Like, uh, it was it was so close, Pat. It was right there. You
I'm
could just
looking at it right now. Holy shit, he was stuck in there at 42.
yeah. Yeah, he was stuck in there. And
And then
Kligerman,
NASCAR's like, wait, we're just gonna throw the caution. You're like,
yeah. Why? Like, okay, it was sorry. It was the right move to throw the caution there. It was the right move to throw the caution, but what I hated
right.
was the timing of it. The timing was horrible. They basically waited till Kligerman was right about to take the white flag and was like, now throw it. And we saw the lights come on. And NASCAR, unfortunately, they don't go by when the starter waves the caution flag. They go by the last scoring loop on the track when the light comes out, which I get, but you know, Jeff Byrne and Steve Letarte on the NBC broadcast nailed it perfectly. It shouldn't come down to machinery determining when the caution comes out. It should determine when a human waves the yellow or white flag to determine if the caution came out and the race was over. And
Right. And the driver, I'm sorry, what's his name? What was the 42 car?
Leyland Honeymoon.
The Honeymoon. Yeah, he wasn't even on the track, so it's not like he was gonna
Yeah.
cause
Well,
people's way.
yeah, well, but they should have thrown it for safety concerns because his car was just
Right. No, I agree. I agree with the caution coming out, but yes, the timing is what pissed all of us fans off.
yeah, for like a good 5 minutes myself and I'm sure you and a whole bunch of other NASCAR fans were just sitting there wondering, okay, are they gonna call the race or are they gonna just go to overtime? Like, what's happening? I was like, what? I texted in our group chat, what is happening right now? Like, what is going on? And I believe it was Nick who responded, this just shows that NASCAR is looking to become more of an entertainment industry than a serious sport. Uh, and you look at the photos, yes, they're correct. Parker Kligerman did not take the white flag, but come on, why would you throw it then and there? Like, he was literally about to take the white flag. You had to throw it then and there. Like, seriously? It and I thought I can't say anything now because I thought Sheldon Creed, I'm a Creed fan. I thought Sheldon had some painful heartbreaks. This I feel tops all of that.
This took the fucking cake.
Yeah. This
This took the fucking cake.
yeah. This is worse, I feel, than any of the heartbreaks that Creed or even
And I'm
Riley.
not gonna lie, Matt. I feel like Creed would definitely get hosed with something like that too.
Yeah, knowing his luck, he definitely would get completely hosed by a call like that. But it wasn't him. It was Parker Kligerman. But come on, Parker had that race won. He had it right there. And NASCAR is like, oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. Ho, ho, ho. They literally went to that State Farm commercial. Um, but we racked them up again. And NASCAR is stuck by their machinery and their calls, which is complete bullshit. And we did an overtime restart. And on the restart, Sam Mayer easily overtook Parker Kligerman. And he started up front, went all the way to the back, and then he came back up to the front and he stole one at the Roval. He won it last year and he did it again. He was my pick to win. But Pat, I feel like this one leaves a bit of a sour taste in a lot of our mouths.
Well, not just this race, but a lot of the calls made by NASCAR definitely left a sour taste in our mouth this season.
Yeah. Yeah. That okay, NASCAR is going to stand by the machinery. We've seen this is probably the most consistent they've been in terms of their rules. Whenever the caution comes out, they'll be like, "Oh, he didn't take the white flag. Re-rack him up again." And it's true. Caution lights came out right before he took the white flag, but you had to wait till then to throw it. I mean, if I were NASCAR and I saw Leland Honeymoon just plow right into the barriers and his car was just stuck underneath, I probably would have been okay. Throw the caution out now. Throw it out now.
Yeah, right away instead of wait till Parker Kligerman gets there. Like, okay, now let's throw it. Let's fuck him
Yeah,
out of a win.
yeah. Like let's just completely dick him out of a win. But yeah, this Parker was literally 2 inches away from advancing to the round of 8, and instead he's going home early. His final season full time in Xfinity. He will not be moving on, as are 4 other drivers. Sheldon Creed, the race just didn't go the way he needed it to. Yeah, that,
that fucked Shane Van Gisbergen.
yeah, that completely hosed SVG. SVG was 2 points out. I think, yeah, it would have been close, but I think he would have been okay before that caution came out. I think he would have been okay. But Sheldon Creed was not, Riley Herbst was not, Parker Kligerman was not, and he got dicked over in a major way, Pat. If I'm Parker Kligerman and I'm Big Machine Racing Team, I'm I'm feeling some disrespect from NASCAR after this one. I truly am.
Yeah, I mean, there's just I really don't know what to say about NASCAR. I mean, they've pissed us off enough this year that at this point we're like, great, new week,
Yeah.
same shit.
Yeah, exactly. New week, same shit. And again, this just makes the playoff format look so stupid because in an instant like that, Parker Kligerman he's on his way to making it to the round of 8. He still keeps his playoff hopes alive, or his championship hopes alive, rather. And NASCAR has something to say about it. It's like, nope, here I come to ruin the day again, and just smacked him out. SVG also kind of got dicked over on that one, and Jesse Love barely, just barely by the skin of his teeth, by 2 points over SVG, advanced to the next round. They were tied on the last lap, and then Jesse Love pushed like two guys out of the way to overtake to get to the next spot. So Jesse Love did what he needed to do. SVG got hosed on that one. And a lot of drivers, I feel, should have a sour taste in their mouths after this one, Pat. Which,
Yeah, I again, I mean, we've already had enough sour taste in our mouth this year.
mm,
Already let our frustration out so much for a lot of things this year. I'm just
yeah.
used to the pain, I guess.
Yeah, we're just masochists. We're just used to the pain at this point in terms of NASCAR just dicking us around and stuff. But this was another one here, but the playoff format for the round of 8 in Xfinity is set. Justin Allgaier, who came in 16 below the cut line, he had a great day at the Roval, finished top 10, won stage 2, took advantage of Herbst and Creed's misfortune. He is moving on, as is Cole Custer. Your guy, Austin Hill, is also safe. He is 9 to the good, and Chandler Smith is also passed. He is 8 to the good. Sam and the drivers that are also advanced that are below the cut line. Sam Mayer with his win, he is good, but he is 8 below the cut line. Jesse Love is -12. AJ Allmendinger -18, and Sammy Smith with his win at Talladega is in, but he is -19. And going home, unfortunately, SVG, Sheldon Creed, my guy. I'm I'm dead on the inside. I'm truly dead. I wanted him to go on a Hemrick run. You know how much I wanted him to have that happen, Pat?
It was possible.
It was looking possible. And then he has the wreck missed. And then he just gets dicked over by a car behind him who doesn't see the accident and just pushes him right into it. Uh, and joining him on the pain couch is Riley Herbst and Parker Kligerman, who should be drinking a whole bunch of liquor to try and numb the pain after this weekend.
Yeah, well, a lot of NASCAR drivers should be drinking a lot of liquor after all the pain they've been dealing with all season.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. This season has just been chaos and a lot of head scratching moments from NASCAR. But Pat, the round of 8 for Xfinity is set. I got to ask you this early predictions. Who you got advancing to the final 4 for Xfinity?
All right, well, definitely Austin Hill. I think he learned his lesson from last year. We'll get back there.
Hmm.
Justin Allgaier,
All right.
Chandler Smith, and call me crazy. This guy knows when to get hot at the right time. But Sam Mayer, I do not see Cole Custer making it again.
Ooh. Okay. That is bold. You're taking out the defending champion.
I am taking out the defending champion and replacing him with Sam Mayer.
All right. I agree with you on Allgaier. Allgaier has gone over his slump for now, and I feel he'll be fine. Chandler Smith has been really good in the playoffs. He's going to make it. I think Cole Custer has also been very consistent enough. He will make it. And I'm sorry to do this to you, buddy, but Sam Mayer is going to make it, but he's going to knock out your guy, Austin Hill. I Austin Hill, these next couple tracks, and we've seen him barely miss the round of the championship 2 years in a row. He just, Austin Hill's been okay, but he hasn't been as consistent enough.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, he's missed out the last few years. But hey, third time's the charm.
Third time could be the
Third time's the
charm.
charm. He gets over the hump.
Third
I
time,
mean, he was close last year, but then fucked Sheldon and he fucked himself. So
yeah, he did, but he's got to stay off the aggressiveness. He's somewhat matured a little bit, but we'll see what
which he
happens.
has been lately.
He has been lately, but Martinsville, that is a place that lives rent free in his head. I
Oh,
mean,
of course it does.
yeah, Martinsville is a place
You
that,
know, it gets real. 2022, he laid out Myatt Snyder after he gave him multiple warnings. Last year, him and the beef with Sheldon Creed.
yep. And then this year, we'll see what happens with it. But Austin Hill has been at the center of controversy in Martinsville, and I have a sneaky feeling that it's going to happen again. I have a sneaky feeling it may happen again, but we'll see. I don't know. I mean, he's not making friends with his teammates at all. He obviously we know the beef with Sheldon, but him and Jesse Love, Jesse Love was saying some very nice things on the radio about him on Saturday at the
Of course he
Xfinity.
was.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's Austin Hill and Jesse Love. If it's a repeat of what happened in Martinsville last year, but with a new driver in that two car, oh, you kind of have to look at a common denominator here. But I don't know. Martinsville, I can kind of see that race getting in Austin Hill's head again, but we'll see if he's matured fully. That's a big test
Well,
for him.
like I say, he has been lately, so
He has done a good job of that lately, but Martinsville, we've seen that place get the best of some people sometimes.
true.
Yes. So let's move on to yesterday's Cup race. It was the Bank of America at the Roval 400. We had SVG. SVG swept the pole in both Xfinity and Cup, driving that 13 car for Colleague. He was back out front again, and he led early on in this race. He was looking really good. Stage one was pretty clean. Tyler Reddick, who's been a no-show in the playoffs all year, won stage one, and he was looking good. And then in stage two, we had some chaos in the hairpin. It was Austin Dillon. He got spun out in that turn. And there were some drivers who, looking at the broadcast, I don't know if they saw or knew that the three cars spun out ahead of them, but Tyler Reddick came barreling in there, overdrove the corner, and he got right into the side of his boss, Denny Hamlin, and the back of Reddick's car took some major air.
Oh yeah. Whew. I thought his car would have been fucked and his season would have been fucked after that wreck.
Yeah, yeah, because it was that right rear of that car, there was some damage to that toe link, and we've seen what toe link damage does to a car after so many races or so many
Yep.
laps. But he came to pit road and had to get that car majorly fixed. There was a lot of damage to it. He caught a bit of a break though, because another driver in the playoffs had his day go south in a heartbeat. Chase Briscoe lost a right rear tire, brought out the caution, and his day got worse. Got into some contact with some other drivers. It was just bean and banging.
Another road course driver that we thought, oh, he can make some noise. Nope. Short end of the stick.
Yeah, he's won here before in Xfinity, but yeah, he got banged up. I believe the toe link on or steering arm in his car broke because the right front of that car would not turn at all. Chase Briscoe out of the race, 37th place finish, done, out of the playoffs. And Tyler Reddick, when I came over to your house yesterday, or Ian's house yesterday to watch the race, I think you said Reddick made like 18 pit stops to try and fix the damage on that car.
Oh yeah. Fuck ton of pit stops. And we're like, oh shit, he might be fucked. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he managed to overcome the odds.
Well,
As
it's
we
funny.
saw.
Well, it's funny too, Matt. He was safe regardless after what happened at the end yesterday, which we'll touch on.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we think about that now, but we'll talk more about that in a second. So we had Reddick go all the way to the back, and then winning stage two. I got a cold here. I gotta hack this bit up. Alex
Oh my
Bowman.
fucking god, I knew it.
Yep, Alex Bowman hacked up a stage two win. Bowman the showman was looking racy again. Again, he won the road course race at the street course here back in July, and he was looking racy early on, and it looked like it was going to be that way, but we'll get more into it in a second. Stage three commences, SVG leads, and then we have some more carnage on the front stretch. Ross Chastain gets spun by Brad Keselowski. Bad Brad returned, and the two legacy cars plowed right into the Ross Chastain. It's been that kind of year for Legacy Motor Club.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. 2-for-1 special. Jones and a nematode get taken out on the same lap. John Hunter's car was just fucked. Left rear on that car was broken, and that brought out a caution because he was just shedding debris all over the track. And then we had some more chaos happening here. AJ Allmendinger, who you love, obviously, took the lead on the restart. He was looking
on road courses.
Uh-huh. Yep. He won this race last year. He was looking to win it again. But insert Jaws theme, Kyle Larson. Yep. Kyle Larson already advanced to the next round.
Bitch.
Yep.
What's scary too is that he also won the fucking Oval and Bristol playoff races the year he won the championship.
He did. He did, which is scary.
And he also did win at Kansas as well. Now, 21 was playoffs, and he won in the regular season this year, but it's still a fucking Kansas. So you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, hey, we still got a whole nother round of the playoffs left to go.
I know, but still.
I don't know. It's interesting what'll happen, but Kyle Larson just set sail after this one. He ran away from the rest of the field and he hid, and he ended up winning the race. But that wasn't the main story. The main story was going around with the playoff fight around the bubble. Tyler Reddick, who came in above the cut line but fell back. Whatever his pit crew did to make that car work again, it was working, because at the end of that race, he was just shooting through the field. Restarted around like 25th, I would say, but he worked his way up to an 11th place finish, and he needed to overtake Joey Logano to get to the round of 8. Logano's car was not handling as well as it was at the start of the race, and he ended up falling back to 6, and he couldn't really catch up to the other drivers. And so we thought Tyler Reddick advanced to the next round along with Alex Bowman. Denny Hamlin was also safe, and Joey Logano. We thought even year Joey Logano was
I thought he was
done.
Yes.
Yep. We were all cheering. We were all celebrating. And then at about 9 o'clock last night, we all got the notification on social media that one Alex Bowman, driver of the 48 car, yes, the hack, and he was a hack yesterday, he was disqualified for not meeting weight limits on that car. Post-race inspection team took his car off to the side. They made the team put fuel in it. They determined it did not reach a minimum weight requirement, and Alex Bowman was disqualified from the race. And that means his stage 2 win was discredited. All the stage points he accumulated was for not and taking over the next playoff spot, moving on and knocking out Alex Bowman. The return of even year Joey Logano.
God damn it! God damn it! Just when we thought, yes, no more even year. Fuck.
Yep.
He went from to the couch to straight off the couch.
Yeah, Alex Bowman hacked up even year Joey Logano again yesterday.
Bowman, come on!
He
just needed this one, for fuck's sakes. I'll take you over even your Joey Logano all day.
Yeah, Alex Bowman, we needed him to be the savior again, and he did not come through at all. But Pat, there is a lot of controversy surrounding Bowman's disqualification, because a lot of people came back. They wanted to know, okay, what happened where Bowman's car did not meet the minimum weight requirement? What happened? And a lot of people went back, and during the race, early in the race, I think this was stage 1. I think this was
where Bowman went flying and almost hit the wall where he could have been.
Yeah. Fucked. Yeah. His car hit the curb in the front stretch chicane, went flying And on the replay, you could see that there were some parts that came out underneath his car. And I I don't want to play I don't want to assume anything, but Pat, we can basically speculate that that may have been what happened where his car did not meet a minimum weight requirement because you take some of the weight out of that
Something
car.
definitely got loose when they went by that turn.
Yeah, something got loose, something fell out of the car along the way. And yeah, a lot of people went back and they were speculating that that could have happened right then and there. And
We don't know for sure, but that was
it's
possible.
it's very possible after seeing that. There were a lot of people on social media after Bowman's disqualification that came out and said, well, this was probably why he got disqualified right here. And
Because a lot of people were hogging that turn.
yeah, a lot of people were hogging that turn, and when you got way too close to those turtles and those rumble strips there, the cars would just go flying. We saw that
Yes.
plenty of times. We saw, I think it was Martin Truex Jr. in practice gain a lot of air going over that turn. We saw tons of guys struggling in that newly redone front stretch chicane, and it just hurt them. And in a lot of ways, I think it hurt Alex Bowman at the end of that race.
And we saw what happened at the end with him being disqualified. So
Yeah, but this is interesting because Hendrick Motorsports, it's been rumored that they are more than likely going to appeal the disqualification. They have some good evidence that could really help them in this appeal, Pat.
I was going to say, if you got the evidence,
Yeah.
you're in good hands. It's not like RCR when Austin Dillon intentionally took out a
Yeah.
2-point special. No, it was clearly on purpose. But for Hendrick, I mean, sure, Hendrick has gotten a lot of shit and stuff lately, but
Yeah.
have a good argument coming up in this appeal. They
Yeah.
have a good argument. But sure, a lot of people are going to say, oh, Hendrick gets favored. I'm like, well, for this situation, Hendrick's has got legit evidence that they could
Yeah.
possibly win this.
Hendrick Motorsports has a lot of integrity
Will
to
I
it.
be surprised if they don't win this? Not really, because it's NASCAR.
Yeah. It's NASCAR, but I there is a lot of argument that what happened to Alex Bowman was him just going over that front stretch chicane. And Pat, we saw in practice and qualifying, drivers were struggling with that area.
Yeah, people were going over those chicanes and stuff. We saw Bubba Wallace
Yeah.
missed the chicane, or I don't know how the fuck you want to say it. And he didn't get DQ'd.
Yeah.
We
Well,
saw people hogging that chicane, but yeah, if there's anything, it was Bowman going flying.
yeah, it was Bowman. I mean, we saw that there. I saw that early on social media when the race was happening while I was working yesterday that happened. But it was with Bowman, I mean, that was just blatantly obvious. I feel that some of those parts that came out of his car definitely played
So
a
you're
role.
saying that even your Joey Logano could still possibly be eliminated.
If Hendrick Motorsports decides to appeal and they win the appeal, yes.
I feel like they will.
Yeah, Hendrick Motorsports released a statement saying that they basically summarized up, they were cautiously reviewing their side of the story and feeling that if they, should appeal. I think
Well,
with
how
the
long
evidence that came out on social media, they should.
they should go for it. I mean, your driver just got fucked out of a playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
And you're looking at that video, you're like, wait a minute. Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah. And a lot of that, Pat, I mean, NASCAR Cup drivers went to NASCAR after practicing qualifying on Saturday and requested that they make some changes to that front stretch area. They changed it a little bit, but still, it was playing a major role in yesterday's race. And it may have just
Another reason why we want the Roval gone.
exactly, exactly another reason why we want the Roval gone because we've seen, especially with this car, it's very clunky. You have a lot of parts that fall out
How
easily.
long does Hendrick have to file the appeal?
Well, I I mean they'd have to file it by this week, but they could file it today if they wanted
I
to.
was gonna say they kind of have to go now
Yeah.
since it's playoffs.
Yeah, they have to go now. I'm sure today will be very telling. I'd
We'll
be
get something out today and stuff for sure. And
yeah.
whatever happens, we'll be just retweeting it and stuff on social
Yeah.
media.
Well, yeah, if something happens and Hendrick appeals for this, and in the coming days, NASCAR makes a decision that completely overturns the playoff picture, we're doing an emergency episode on this
I
because
know. I'm game. I'm
yeah,
game. I'm game.
we are doing an emergency episode on this, but
And it doesn't matter where we are.
doesn't matter where we are
It doesn't
because
matter where we are, whether you're at Menards, whether I'm out in a highlight shoot. No, we're fucking doing an emergency
we
show.
are doing an emergency show because this is
Is
playoff.
it's playoff determination. But yes, no, we're doing an emergency show. I don't care where we are. I don't care. Again, you're at Menards. I'm on a highlight shoot. We're at the office. No, we're doing a fucking emergency show. Hell, if we're next to each other at the office and that shit comes out, we're just gonna pull up right there and be like, hey, so this is an emergency episode of the Codo Bach Pitstop. This is what went down.
Yep. Yeah, this is exactly what went down here. And yeah, I'd be shocked if Hendrick did not file an appeal today, especially with the evidence that
that'd
be shocking.
That wouldn't sound like Hendrick at all.
No, but
because you had at first had all four of your drivers moving on.
Yeah.
And then one has been DQ'd, but
yeah,
you have a chance to save that driver.
Yeah, you have
save him.
You have a legitimate chance to save that driver. And Alex Bowman, say what you want about him. I know he's the weakest Hendrick Motorsports driver. He's the worst.
But he's had a really consistent season.
He has had a very consistent season, and he has been unbelievable in the playoffs. He has been outstanding so far in the playoffs. And
Rick Hendrick, I know Rick Hendrick, if you don't file this appeal, you're gonna be hearing it from a lot of fans.
Yeah, he'll be, because Bowman, obviously he doesn't have as many fans as Larson or Chase Elliott does, but he's still a likable driver.
He is.
He is a very, yes, he flukes his way into a lot of wins and situations, but you cannot deny he's very consistent.
Very consistent. He definitely deserves to be in the playoffs. And Hendrick, again, we're recording right now at 10:45 on a Monday morning, so there's still plenty of time for Hendrick Motorsports to file the appeal.
It opens today, so
of course it's almost noon in the Eastern time.
Yeah, it is almost afternoon out in North Carolina where they're based at. But if they want to file the appeal, today's the day to do it. It starts today. It's open for them. I mean, Hendrick Motorsports, they have more integrity than RCR does. I mean, RCR, come on, you were never going to win that appeal anyways.
No. Yeah, there was clear evidence that you weren't going to win the appeal. Where for Bowman, there's evidence that they could win the appeal.
Yeah, there is evidence.
They win the appeal? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, there is some clear evidence. And we've seen this happen last year. I mean, Ryan Blaney got disqualified initially after Vegas, and that looked to be the end of his championship run. But then NASCAR came out and said, no, we made a mistake. And Penske didn't appeal that penalty, but NASCAR just came out and said, no, we made a mistake. His car was fine. We apologize. We're giving him back his playoff points. Hendrick has the opportunity to do that again.
I was just going to say, I would go for that appeal.
I would definitely
save your fucking driver.
Yeah, save your driver, save his playoff hopes, because his teammates are moving on. And I feel,
and again, say what you all want about him. Say, he's a hack, all luck, no skill. The son of a bitch deserves to be in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, he's been consistent enough. He's had a good year. He should be back in the playoffs.
Yes, and again, if it's one, we will be doing an emergency show. And if it doesn't win, if they don't win the appeal, they'll just continue to show how big of a laughingstock NASCAR is. No offense.
Yep. Yeah, it'll definitely do it. It'll definitely be that. But yeah, right now, it does not look good.
And of course, everybody say what you want about those Hendrick. Say what y'all want about those Hendrick boys. Sure, they get, favorited and stuff all the time, but come
Yeah.
on, this is a big situation right here that,
Yeah.
is pretty serious.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. This was a big
This is a
situation.
serious situation.
It is a very serious situation for Hendrick Motorsports because, again, they've come under the microscope. Obviously, we saw Larson at Indy get handed that win. We've seen Elliott at times get handed moments by NASCAR. Same with Byron, but this is a clear-cut moment where,
Oh yeah, Pocono 2022, where Elliott got handed a win.
yeah, this is a clear-cut moment that I feel Alex Bowman and Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendrick, they have stood with this man through hell and back when a lot of people wanted him out at HMS. And if they truly believe in this driver and what he can do, then by God, you need to stand by him and file this appeal and win it, because there's evidence. There is evidence out there that I feel will vindicate Bowman and that 98 and that 48 team pretty good.
Yeah, people keep receipts nowadays.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
with all the video evidence that you're seeing from the cameras in the race cars,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that Hendrick could win this case.
There is a good chance, but if they appeal, we'll see. If they win the appeal, we'll know by the end of the week, and we will touch on that with all of you. But for now, we got to go by what's currently going on in the playoffs as we move to the round of 8. The end is
NASCAR, you
near.
better make the right decision. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they better make the right decision. But moving on now to the round of 8. We start next weekend at Las Vegas. Right now,
Holy
this is as
shit.
of right now, before Hendrick Motorsports appeals. So we'll just start a
Yep.
little asterisk right there for
Yep.
now. But
For now.
right now, this is the playoff standings for Cup. Kyle Larson, he's looking really racy. He is 33 to the good. Christopher Bell, who's been very consistent, is plus 13 to the good. Tyler Reddick, who overcame Hellenbach yesterday, he is plus 10 back to where he needs to be. And William Byron is the last remaining guy above the cut line. He is plus 4 to the good. And then around the cut line, it gets interesting. Ryan Blaney, the defending champ, he is minus 4. Denny Hamlin is minus 8 after racing his way in. Chase Elliott, your guy, is minus 9. And Joey Logano, for the moment, after Bowman got disqualified, even your Logano still has life. He is minus 11 in the 8th.
As of 11 a.m. Central Time on Monday, October 14th, Joey Logano is in the playoffs, remaining in the playoffs. As of 11 a.m. Central Time, well, it's 10:53, but as of 11 a.m. Central Time.
Yes,
Close enough.
It's close enough.
11 a.m. Central Time on Monday, October 14th, 2024. Joey Logano's in the playoffs.
Yes, as of now, but that is subject to change depending on what happens. But
you better get this episode up ASAP then.
oh yeah, we're gonna get this one out pretty soon. But Pat, who we got going on to the final 4, your early predictions now that we're at the round of 8. Who you got?
Kyle Larson, obviously.
Pains you to say it. Take off that
Yep.
9 cap.
Yep. Christopher Bell, he's been solely consistent and he always finds a way to get hot at the right time. Hate to be that asshole, but Tyler Reddick does not make it to the final 4.
Oh, that's interesting. The regular season champ.
And neither does William Byron. He's been slowly falling.
Okay.
It will be Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has been slowly consistent lately. He finished 5th yesterday. He was racing great at Talladega before the wreck. He finished 2nd at Bristol.
He did.
He's been slowly consistent.
Chase Elliott is having a very quiet but consistent season. He's not flashy.
Very quiet bounce back year.
Yeah. He's not flashy, but he's getting the results. He's getting the finishes.
I think it's best that he's not flashy.
Yeah, it's best that he's not flashy. He's He's lurking. He's right there.
But yeah,
He's
I'm going
just
Larson, Bell, Blaney, and Elliott. Hamlin will miss out on the Final Four again.
oh, all right. That's interesting. Uh, yeah, it's been a very quiet second half of the year for Denny. Tyler Reddick has not performed like he
We're
was in the
also, and
playoffs.
for a driver like, and we're coming up to tracks where Elliott's good at. We're coming up to tracks where Christopher Bell's good at. We're coming up to tracks where Ryan Blaney's good at. We're also coming up to tracks that Kyle Larson is at.
Yeah,
Now, of course, you can say the same thing for drivers like Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Joey Logano for now. But it just matters who's real consistent.
yeah. It just matters who's real. I don't
And
know.
lately, Larson, Bell, Blaney, and Elliott, they've been really consistent lately.
They
Sure, Blaney
haven't.
has ended up on the wrong side of the stick in some situations, but do not sleep on Blaney.
I don't know. Homestead, that is a toss-up track because there are a lot of drivers who run really good at Homestead. Obviously, Christopher Bell won there.
Vegas too.
Yeah. Vegas
These
is
are a lot of toss-up. These are a lot of toss-up tracks coming up, and these 8 drivers right now are the perfect fit for it, fighting
yeah.
for that championship 4 spot.
Just don't count out drivers like Reddick. Reddick is very good at Homestead.
He almost won at Vegas back in March.
Yeah, he's very good at homes at Vegas too. Blaney, he's really good at some of these tracks. We saw him win Martinsville last year. He runs good at Homestead. Denny Hamlin also runs really good at Homestead as
Hell,
well.
William Byron won at Martinsville back in April.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Byron's last win. Yeah, that was the last time he won a race. So he's been very quiet ever since.
Yeah, these 8 drivers are perfect for the cut line. Hell, I won't be surprised if it's the 4 that are alive right now.
Yeah. Hey, you never know.
I did say Chase Elliott, the farthest he would have gone after his Texas win was the round of 8, but with how consistent he's been lately, he could find his way into that championship 4 now with how consistent he's been.
He could very well be consistent, but consistency gets you only so far before you need to start having some wins. And
yes,
obviously he had the win at Texas, but he has been quiet.
We're coming up to tracks where
could
possibly get a win.
He's
raced good here at Vegas. He almost won at Homestead before. He's won at Martinsville.
Yeah, could happen. It could very well happen. But that 9 car, the Hendrick Motorsports, they have it figured out on the short track. So I expect him to be very good at Martinsville. But all right, I stand with you on Larson, and I stand with you on Bell.
Yeah.
Those two
no brainers.
Those two are going to make it. I agree with you. Reddick and Byron have not been consistent enough. They have really started to fall off a little bit. I think they're just barely going to miss out on the Final Four. I agree with you on Blaney making it back. That 12 team, they get hot this time of year. And Ryan Blaney looking for a 2-peat. It could very well happen at Phoenix.
Hell, I won't be surprised if we see, Blaney not come in victory lane and still end up first in the points.
Yeah, it happened last year. Yeah, it happened last year, and it very well could happen again this year. But you know what? I'm looking at a man right now. I know he's not been consistent enough.
Oh,
but he's got that.
I know you're gonna take.
He's got that fire lit under him. He's tired of hearing all the criticism about he can't do it. He can't do it in the Final Four. He can't do it. You know what? He was frustrated and pissed off after last year. He's nearing. I think he's nearing hole 18 in his career. What a time to go out and win a championship and put the doubters to rest. I'm going Denny Hamlin. He will be another.
He will possibly end the season by saying, "I beat your favorite driver." Oh, I would love to see that.
I would love to see it. And again, we go to some tracks that Denny is also very good at. I mean,
all the tracks that we're going to, these 8 drivers are really good.
Yes, Denny had Homestead 1 last year before he hit the wall late and couldn't finish. He probably would have had that race won had that not happened.
He's won at Vegas before.
Martinsville is another one. That's his playground right there. He loves Martinsville. And Phoenix, we go to the championship 4. Phoenix is another decent track for him that he could very well win at. We've seen him win before at the new Phoenix configuration. He could do it again.
Yep.
And you know what? I I just feel like right now, Denny Hamlin, he's he hasn't been consistent in the playoffs, but I think he's got a fire lit under him right now, and he's had a fire lit under him for a while.
All the drivers right now have fires lit under their
All the
asses.
drivers do, but Denny has
Except Joey Logano, because who the fuck knows if he's actually moving on?
Yeah,
As of
we don't know. We don't know about him, but I mean, Denny has Chris Gabehart. Chris Gabehart is probably, if not one of the best crew chiefs in NASCAR right now.
yeah.
He Chris Gabehart knows how to strategize. He knows how to get that 11 car in position. And it's been a quiet second half of the season for Denny, but I think this is make or break time for him, and I feel he's going to make it happen.
Yeah, no, man. Danny, and he's been so close the past couple years.
Yeah.
He might be able to get over the hump this year.
He could. He very well could. He's got some competition to break through, but it could
Anybody
happen.
but Larson, please.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens, though. We'll see. Larson still has some wreckers or checkers in him, so it could happen. Don't never say die. Never say die. But Pat, you feeling lucky? Because we go to Sin City next weekend. The round of 8 begins at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for both Xfinity and Cup. No trucks next weekend. They won't be back until Homestead in a couple weeks.
Fuck
But
that.
yeah, I mean, Xfinity and Cup, that's kind of where it's at right now. I mean, with trucks, it's either Christian Eckes or Corey Hines. So good luck to both of you. But coming up to Vegas, we have Saturday night racing under the lights at Las Vegas, 6:30 p.m. for the round of 8 in Xfinity.
Yeah, let's go.
Who you rolling with on Saturday night, Pat?
All right. All right. Who am I rolling with? Who's going to be the lucky car to gamble his way into the championship 4? Well, how consistent he's been this year. We've seen this man win at Vegas before.
Oh boy, I know you.
Austin Hill will be the first driver to punch his ticket into the championship 4.
I had a feeling you'd be saying that one. I had a feeling you'd be going there. You know what? I have another guy who's also going to make it to the round of 4, but not the guy you think. He's come alive this playoffs. He's going to make his name at Joe Gibbs Racing. Give me Chandler Smith.
Okay. I like that.
Yep. Chandler Smith's come alive. He's looking very racy. So
awesome.
Yep. And then next up, we have the Cup Series race at Las Vegas. This is on Sunday afternoon. Kyle Larson, he's won here the past 2 races. Who you got? Hopefully someone other than Kyle Larson.
Well, this guy finished as a runner-up last fall at Vegas. Christopher Bell will punch his ticket to the championship 4.
Oh boy, Christopher Bell. You stole my pick again. God damn you! You stole my pick again.
Hey, I'm the one that's saying that you should not be sleeping on Christopher Bell in these playoffs. Seriously, he's the one. You're talking about a driver that's got a fire lit under his ass, and not just this year, but in the past 2 seasons. Christopher fucking Bell.
Oh boy, yeah, Christopher Bell.
He's had a fire lit under his ass these past few playoffs.
Yeah, he has been so close.
Never sleep on Bell.
No.
What I tell you? What did I tell you?
Yeah, never sleep on him. He's consistent. He doesn't have the wins, but he is scary consistent. So he is going to be very good in this round of 4, in this round of 8. So I think he'll definitely be a round of 4 lock. But all right. So my guy, you know what? Sorry, I gotta go with this because this guy, it's been his playground. This track has been his playground, and unfortunately, pains me to say it, but he's going to punch his ticket to the round of 4. It's Kyle Larson.
And you just said for my pick, anybody but Larson. What the fuck?
Well, I have to look at. Well, hey, you know what? That's misdirection there. I mean, I said anybody but Larson. but really, I had him deep down.
And he
Mis-
has won here the last 2 seasons, last 2 times. So fuck.
yep, misdirection, Pat. That's what's going to happen. That's what I just did to you. I'm sorry. It pains me to say it. I take no joy in saying Kyle Larson will win this weekend, but it's going to happen.
How good he is. Watch me
Yeah.
fucking.
Yep. It's going to happen. But let's wrap up the show. We have our winners and losers of the week. Pat, it was full of winners and losers. Who you taking out of the winners pile?
Tyler Reddick's pit crew is coming out of the winner's pile. Not Tyler Reddick, his pit crew.
Very deserving. Very deserving.
Tyler Reddick should be buying his pit crew a steak dinner for how much hard work they put into saving his car and
Mm-hmm.
getting him and then getting him into the next round of the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. He could probably do with that regular season title money he earned.
Yep. And my loser of the week, boy, this has been a popular pick on the show so far this season. But NASCAR continuing to take another L.
Yeah. Yeah, this ain't looking good for them with how the Roval was this weekend. And if Alex Bowman appeals and they end up winning that appeal, this just gives a whole different bad look for NASCAR. Like, why are you still racing at the Roval? Like, come on.
Well,
Just
I
get
was
back.
leaning more towards the Parker Kligerman incident, but yes, there's that
Oh
too.
yeah, and the Parker Kligerman incident too. Yeah, that's a big one right there. That's a big one. All right. You know what? My winner of the week, because he proved me right on the show last week for Xfinity, and he came through and he won again in Xfinity. Sam Mayer, thanks for making me look very good on this show. Appreciated. Came from the back to the front to do it. And I'll go compete for a Final Four spot now that Sheldon Creed is out. So, and go win that title. Do it. My loser of the week. I know you just referenced him. I know you didn't do anything wrong, but this is still painful. This is such a painful way to lose. Parker Kligerman. I'm sorry, buddy. I got to do it to you. I really got to do it to you.
Yeah.
That's painful. Again, I thought Sheldon Creed coming up oh so close 11 times or 12 times, I think, 13 times actually was bad.
Yeah, you
That
could bump
actually
the number 20.
Oh God, yeah. You could bump the number up to 20, but it still wouldn't beat, in my opinion, all this painful moment from Parker Kligerman. That was just painful right there. So sorry, buddy, nothing you did wrong, but I gotta hand it to you. But that wraps up the show. Thank you so much again, everyone, for watching. We'll keep you updated on Alex Bowman and the potential appeal from Hendrick Motorsports and what happens there. But thanks so much, as always, for watching. I'm Matt Lauterbach, and of course, joined across the screen from me.
The co-host of the Codo Bach Pitstop, Patrick Codo.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.